So I'm back at Kibo, up and down the mountain, came straight into the camp and straight to my tent, so forgive me if I'm a little bit out of breath. What an amazing and spectacularly successful day. An expedition. We started 5 days ago with 6 barefoot climbers aiming to get to the summit, and we got all 6 of them up, and so it literally could not have been any better. The other 3 climbers who were with us in shoes also got up, so it was a 100% day and just an amazing day. Super difficult because it goes from Kibo at 4:07 up to the summit, which is 5,895, so that's a 1,200 meter ascent, and it happens in 4.5 kilometers, and most of it is on the very loose and sharp volcanic shale. So this was definitely the toughest day of the trip so far. But came through it again, and it's difficult to describe to you all the feelings and the emotions and thoughts and so on right now, probably because I'm just actually too tired to have them. I'm sure they'll sink in and hit me later, and then I will maybe post or talk to you about it again. But the thing for me about this trip is that it just illustrates the power of planning and vision, because having come up with this idea that so many people laughed at, I tweeted it the day before we left, and a number of people came back saying ha ha ha, and that's just crazy or ridiculous and so forth. Well, clearly it's not. And why not? And the reason is because whenever you look at any challenge, you understand what the problems might be, why will we fail, and if we solve the problems before they happen to us, then we overcome them. And that's what's happened here this week, because the itinerary was put together well, the training was done well, the mental and physiological preparation was done well, and the result was that we could succeed with a 100% success rate. And I think the lesson should be that don't stop at identifying the problems, figure out the solutions, and then solve the problem before they ever hit you. Just looking back, obviously we've got 2 days to go to get back to the airport and so forth to wrap the trip up properly. But the most remarkable thing about this expedition is that it's been completely unremarkable. I would guess that 80% of trips to Kilimanjaro have got more drama and more complications and problems than ours has had, and that's without the shoes. And the reason is, again, the planning. And so with regards to the cold, today it was probably 3 or 4 degrees below zero when we left. But as expected, as soon as the sun comes up, the ground warms up more than the air, and the result is that the feet stay warm. So that was in the end a non-event. The cold wasn't a factor. Altitude-wise, there were probably 3 or 4 cases of guys who got headaches, just needed a bit of treatment, a bit of nausea, a bit of dizziness, but that's normal once you get above 5,000 meters. And then with regards to the feet, with one exception, which unfortunately was me as a result of the Friday the 13th frostbite, the 5 team members who had spent the month's training for the trip by running on tar, walking off-road and so forth, had toughened their feet up so much that they actually did not have a single problem. In fact, the biggest problem we had with feet on the entire trip was a couple of people stubbed their toe against a rock and just tore some skin off the outside of their small toe, and that was it. Even the sharp volcanic shale today was negotiated without any pain. So it's a testament, A, to the amazing biology of the foot, and 2, to how if you just train properly you can achieve things that at first glance you say, oh, that's not possible, you know. My account, a little bit different obviously as a result of the skin that then tore off the bottom of my feet after it froze a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't have timed it worse, because the skin started to tear off on day 1. By day 3 it was completely off, and the result was that my nice thick outsole was gone, and I spent the last 2 days walking on sharp stones with pretty much nothing under the foot, and so it did hurt. Today was super difficult. For 7 hours I just tried everything. I spoke to myself, sang quietly to myself. Luckily for the team I didn't sing loudly. I try to be conservative, I try to be aggressive, I try to change the way I walked, I try to just ignore the pain, try to focus on the pain till it went away. In the end, nothing really worked, and just had to accept that it was there as my best friend all the way to the summit. But we did it, and so I guess there's science and there's all these things that we can measure and plan for, and then sometimes you just throw all that stuff out the window and you just ride it out and hang in one step at a time. And so that's what got me to the top. I was least prepared because of the last couple of weeks. But again, I mean, these things happen. It's still an overwhelming success. Thanks to those of you who have been supportive of it. Again, donations to the Children's Hospital, it's a fabulous cause. I'll post the link below this video and you can go along and do that. And next time someone comes at you with something that sounds crazy, even if it's an idea like I'm going to run a half marathon, or I'm going to cycle the Argus cycle to a big event in South Africa, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Don't just see the problems and stop there. Figure the solution out, and you'll be surprised at what's possible. Right now, 7 hours of walking. In fact, that was just up. I had another hour and a half down. Almost 10 hours of exercise is worth a little afternoon nap. So I'm going to take that and we'll chat again soon. Ciao.